there's an expression that says that some people take the position that they get involved in activities, programs, and initiatives, not necessarily to get credit. Matter of fact, some people say, I don't care who gets the credit as long as the job gets done. And that seems to be applicable to this organization that I'm so happy to be able to present and highlight today because of its history and involvement in the community, and because of the impact that it has had in our community for over 100 years. And of course, we're talking about Pilot International, and the objective of this meeting today is to apprise the community of all of the good thing and the pilot is doing, and familiarize you with the pilot club, and familiarize myself. So this is going to be just as beneficial for me as it will be for you. So we're happy today to have Miss Espinoza, who is the president of Pilot International, and we'll hear from her in a minute. But we got the local guy. We got the homeboy, on the show with us, and in the person of Mr. Will Butler, who is the COO and director of events. If I got that wrong, he'll correct me, but I think I got it right.
You're right.
But it's so important. It's so important, ladies and gentlemen, to be able to, tout and familiarize the community with some good things in our community, with a good organization. And, and then, as you know, most of you know, we're celebrating 200 years for Maconville. Well, guess what? 100 years ago, Pilot International was founded. And I'm not going to steal Miss Espinoza's thunder, so just talk a little generally about yourself, Miss Espinoza, and Pilot International.
Thank you so much. I am so blessed to be here with you all today and to be able to tout all the wonderful attributes and things that we're doing in our communities around the world. Um, I like I was introduced. My name is Rona Espinosa, and I've served this year as our international president, and it has just been a wonderful journey. And I've been on this journey with our newly hired um, COO, Director of Events, Will Butler, and he has just done an outstanding job for us, and I really appreciate him and running with some of the real vision I had for this year in accomplishing so many things. One thing I wanted to say is that when I realized that the greater Macon area was not really familiar with Pilot International, and we were founded in Macon, Georgia in 1921. And we were really founded by a group of women that were married to Rotarians, and Rotary, for many, many years, did not accept women into their organization. So the women got together and they said, hey, we can do something on our own and we can serve our communities around the world just like Rotary. And we are smaller than Rotary, but we still have a great impact in the communities that we represent. The name Pilot, people will ask us all the time, well, do you fly planes? No, we don't fly planes. Maybe there are a few that fly planes, but I don't know any. But our name Pilot was inspired by the mighty riverboat pilots of the day, and who represented leadership and guidance. So thousands of members of Pilot International come together, and they focus on our mission, and our mission is to influence positive change in communities throughout the world. And to do this, we come together in friendship and service, focusing on brain safety and health and supporting those who care for others. So we have three initiatives in our organization that we really focus on, and that's advocating for leadership and service in youth and young adults. and that is our Anchor program and our Compass program. And our Anchor program serves kids and youth um, that are ages 11 through high school age, so like to 17. And then the other part of it is that we have Compass, and that's for those kids that graduate high school and want to continue doing that service. And so they are the Compass group and they go to age 28. And so we have pilots supporting these two youth initiatives around the world. We have actually probably just as many youth in these membership groups as we do pilots. So it's pretty
Mhm.
exciting, and we really encourage leadership with these kids. You know, a lot of times kids get so caught up in, you know, video games and stuff like that, and when we can bring a different focus to them, that serving their communities, how important that is, putting together fundraisers, putting together service projects, and then presenting them to their communities around the world is really, really important. And we have these members in, you know, South Africa, Japan, a huge representation in the Bahamas as well, and then, of course, around the United States. And so we encourage that. And the second initiative that we encourage is brain safety and health. So we work very closely with the Brain Injury Association, traumatic brain injury groups. And then we also have a signature project called Brain Minders. And so Brain Minders is a puppet show that we created, and it takes these little puppets into the classrooms, preschool, all the way through. We even have one that's put together for seniors about how they can protect their brain, how they can play safely on the playground, and wearing helmets when they're riding their bikes and on their skateboards, and bullying it we talk about bullying and just water safety, and there's so many components to our brain minders puppet show, and so we take that into the schools as well, and it's been well received. We give them a little coloring book that we've designed, and the kids love it, and our little puppet creatures are just darling. And so the other thing that we do is it's a new initiative that's just come out in the last 10 years, is caring for those who care for others. And we all either have been or we know of caregivers. We know about, you know, taking care of a grandma or taking care of your parents as they were aged. And then also it goes even further where we're talking about those that care for us, like first responders, those people in the nursing homes, the nursing home staffs that take care of these aged people or people that are in rehab. So what we do is we offer these grants, they're called pick me up grants, to our clubs. And so they can apply for up to $200, and they use that money and they put together little pick me ups, little baskets of love, little happies for these caregivers. And so it can be even creative things like buying a gift certificate for nails or for a massage. You know, I've received one myself when my husband was uh, going through some health issues. And so we take these and we give these out to our firefighters and different people. So we've got a lot of really important initiatives, and the within the last 3 years, we also created an initiative that we're called the Helmet People. So you can write a grant for helmets, a matching grant, and you can receive some beautiful helmets that for your club, and you can put on uh, s- bike rodeos. And so we've taught our pilots how to fit the helmets for these kids. And so they're able to also do that. And so we've just got a whole lot of stuff. And one thing that I really appreciated about Will is that he just ran with it, with this whole initiative and all that we do. And he asked if we would allow the staff to be their own pilot club. So they are their own pilot club, Pilot International Headquarters Club. It's an honorary club. And so they have adopted a group, and I'm going to have Will talk more about it. And every month they go and they take pick me ups to that facility, just showing love to them. And so it's a beautiful, beautiful organization. I have been a member of it for 26 years this year. And I just see the impact that it has made around the world. And in 10 days, I'll be flying to Japan, and I will be part of their district convention and doing some service projects out in Japan. And then on to Honolulu, and we're going to do some more fun things there. So with that, I don't know if you have any questions for me. I know that was a mouthful, but I just have so much love for this organization that I could go on forever, and I know you don't have the time for that. So I will send it back to you, sir.
Well, thank you very much, and I receive it uh, more informed than I was before you started talking.
Good.
But just as a matter of comment, that is nothing short of phenomenal. And I just want to congratulate you for agreeing to serve as the international president of the organization. And
Thank you.
then I was just blown away by its reach. You know, a lot of people use the word international loosely, but then the Pilot Club International, and reading up on it, is truly an international organization. I just wanted to put that out there as information. But the most important thing right now is to, try to frame how all of those initiatives apply to Macon, Georgia, and Central Georgia. You know, you got the Anchor Club, you got the Compass Club, you got the Pick Me Up, and all of these things. And I see why your motto is friendship and service, because they really embrace and embodied what the mission and the purposes of the club are. And again, I'm just blown away. And, I really, feel, if I may use this term, vacuumed, because, I think the community is in a vacuum as it relates to being familiar, through no fault of anybody. But it was founded in Macon, and Macon ought to be touting it, 100
Yes.
years later, and then we'll talk about that, after the show. So we'll just talk about locally how the local community is engaged in all of those initiatives, the Compass Club, the Anchor Club, and, the Pick Me Up initiatives, and, and all of those. And then the local pilot, your own pilot.
Yes.
You
Right.
get creative. You get creative up in here. Say, well,
Yes.
I'm gonna be
Yes.
COO of the Pilot Club and not have one myself.
Right. Right. Well,
There's
most
an old saying that says the proof is in the pudding.
Yes.
So
Yes.
go
That's
ahead and
right.
talk about the local activities.
Well, most certainly, first I'm elated and honored to have been selected to be the chief operating officer and director of events. I mean, Alex, as you know, I'm no stranger to being in servant leadership, with the history of working for community development systems in the past, and in the community working with the school system, having and still serving as an advisory board member for Elaine Lucas High School and the Macon RYDCs, leading the local interagency planning teams and Just Children to actually build the juvenile justice court system prior in the past. And in fact, my mom is a minister and also an activist here in the community. So while I have some huge footsteps to fill, I am paving my own way along with this organization. So I'm just so pleased that the organization selected a homeboy or someone who is from the area and that knows the outlay of the area and that is connected. So Ms. Espinosa stated that one of the first things I connected with was the Macon Chamber. Having been a leadership Macon graduate of 2014, one of the best class ever, I'm already connected with the chamber. And so when Jessica Walden became the new chief executive officer of the chamber, it was very easy to connect with her and provide some of those initiatives. Locally, we've partnered with other nonprofits, such as the Brookdale Warming Center. Our staff and team members, we provided some pick-me-ups and clothing during the Christmas time when it was one of the coldest seasons, to provide toys for the kids, hygiene products for the adults, and even some treats because we wanted them to have a pretty good Christmas, and we continue that. Our local Macon pilots, we partnered with them more recently with the Open Streets Macon. I think they've adopted the Lynn Hill area, and we've fitted those kids and children and adults with helmets as they ride bicycles through, and that's a big initiative. So, we're doing a lot. We've adopted a local fire station that's just down the street. We want our first responders to be, well loved and well appreciated for the work that they do, because in most cases they are underappreciated for their heroics. And so whether it's taking them a box of Krispy Kreme, everybody loves Krispy Kreme donuts, from time to time to let them know how we appreciate them, or a little pick-me-up gift just to say thank you, then those are some of the things that we're doing. Upcoming, we're looking at providing services to some of the local food banks and churches, because during this time, some people just need people to be there and to help them serve. And so we're here not to necessarily steal their thunder, but to participate and help them along with their initiatives, because the great thing about Pilot is that the community initiatives become also our initiative. So in joining Pilot, it wasn't hard to make a decision to join an organization, because usually when you join an organization, you have to gear yourself up to get in line with the mission, vision, and values. But I found that their mission and vision and values were already a part of who I was, and how great is that? And so we'd like to, moving forward, to continue to spread the word that, hey, we're here, our doors are open. We have some great initiatives with our brain minders. It also teaches about gun safety. We know that gun violence here in Macon has been at an all-time high. It was last year, and trending this year. We're not trending in a great direction. So I'd like to maybe, partner. I know the Macon Mayor's office has an initiative, the Macon Violence Prevention, maybe to get with them, because sometimes our youth primarily who are at the focus of gun violence is not our older adults, it's more of our younger. They just need a little care and kindness. They just need somebody to show them some care without having any strings attached. And I believe that, our initiatives may work well along with the city's initiatives as well. And then also, we've been here for over 100 years, like you said. The city is celebrating the bicentennial, and I was pleasantly surprised at the opening of the bicentennial that you were on the board. And so, definitely want to connect with the city to say, hey, we've been here as well, and we want to participate in some of the bicentennial celebrations. And then we have Ms. Sharice Stevens of Merriweather of You Create Macon. She has the bicycle initiative, And so helmets and bicycles go hand in hand together. So I'm looking to further extend Pilot to reach out with her and see what type of partnership we can get into to help make this work. And I just, my hope and my prayer for the organization and for the community is that the organization takes full advantage of what Pilot has to offer. We're in the process of reviewing scholarship applications. We received over 200 scholarship applications from around the world. And you don't have to be a member of Pilot or Anchor or Compass to receive $1,000 scholarship or $1,500 a year scholarship. So I want to get that information out to our school board, our school system. Isn't it a shame that we're here in Macon, but we have very few participants for the scholarship in Macon when $1,500 or $1,000 can go a long way? So I want to be able to advertise that, and it's that no strings attached. We're here.
Wow, that is so phenomenal, and I'm so glad that I'm just blown away, Miss Espinoza. I really am, and I was thinking that Will was talking that he might need to ask for a contract extension.
For sure. For sure.
Because
For sure.
that he's doing a phenomenal job, and I'm sure that
He's just
Yes.
ran with I just shared with him some of the important things that I really wanted to get done this year. And one of them was taking care of our staff, and one of the ways that we did it is we have 4 new staff people there.
Mhm.
So we've got a full team. Pilot headquarters has a full team there, and in our beautiful building. If you have not been to our building there in Macon, it is, I cry every time and my heart skips a beat when I drive up, because it's so beautiful. And so anyway, but it's been a beautiful time with you all, and I just hope that we can partner more with the great people of Macon and do more impact, have more impact there in the greater Macon area.
Mhm.
That's just really been a big focus for all of us, and we just
you
so
will, you will, and I don't want the show to end without one or both of you talking about 2 other things. Well, and that's volunteers, and how can other people be involved or join the club or whatever, other organizations, and finances. I mean, I don't know how you're funded, but you sure are involved in a lot of activities, and the pick me up activities. Although it's $200, it has to come from somewhere.
Yes.
You just can't reach up in the sky and say, "Well, I'm gonna get $200 every time I put my hand up," and that doesn't happen like that. So talk a little bit about volunteers and how the community, I know how you're supporting the organization, but how can you receive, and is there a need to discuss funding?
there definitely is a need for that, and uh, you can
Can you hear
learn
me?
more. You can learn more about joining our local Macon club. We have a Pilot Club of Macon by visiting our website at pilotinternational.org, or by calling headquarters at 478-477-1208. And Claire will be really happy to talk to you, or will,
Yes.
about joining our the local Macon Club. But we do always appreciate sponsorships for our Pick Me Up grant program, our helmet grant program. They start kind of dwindling, those funds, as we award these grants. We do a quarterly awarding, and we've got 10 or 20 that come in and stuff. So we're always needing sponsorships for those grant programs, and for even brain minders, because the coloring books are super expensive. And so those are great opportunities to connect with our local groups, especially for Macon.
Right.
Do you want
And
to add
Alex,
anything? Yes, go
yes,
ahead.
and Alex, to piggyback off of Ms. Espinosa, we do have an upcoming convention in Bellevue, Washington. And so there are opportunities for ad sponsorships that I would like to put out. So if you're looking to get your business or your name out there to represent Macon in Bellevue, Washington, we'd love to talk with you about an ad sponsorship. They're very reasonable, whether it's color or black and white. Then we are actually doing a project while we're out there, a service project, because we always want to impact the communities that we descend upon and leave them. So we're actually doing some hygiene kits for the young men and women there. And there is an opportunity to have sponsorships for that for, $25, $50. We would like to actually provide hygiene kits to over 2,500 youth and adolescents in that community. And then, of course, as far as donating, you can donate anytime. You can call the number to donate to us. Giving Tuesday is always a great way to donate, as well as anytime, whether it's $1 or $2. There's no amount that's too small, and you don't have to be a member. And we'd be more than happy to accept that donation and continue the work. And I promise you that once you donate to us, you won't be disappointed with how the money is being used in the community.
Perfect.
That's outstanding. That's outstanding. And we're about to run. Let me just publicly thank you all for all that you're doing individually and as an organization. And in the same breath, let me just encourage the entire community and everybody under the sound of my voice, looking at this picture that Ms. Espinosa talked about this morning, to not only be involved and be familiar with the Pilot Club, but also to help spread the word. Help spread the word. This is an organization, it's an international organization that was founded locally over 100 years ago. And, this is a mainstay in our community. And we certainly need to be familiar with it and we need to support it. Well, I will be getting with you about some kind of involvement in the bicentennial, amongst other things. Ms. Espinosa, it's so good to meet you. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
For all that you do in your involvement in the club. This is a call to action. I'm your host, Alex Habersham, having interviewed a phenomenal couple representing an organization that's doing a phenomenal job, the Pilot Club International. Go to pilotinternational.org. Is that correct, Will?
Yes, sir.
And learn more information. What's that phone number?
478-477-1208.
Be involved, get involved. This is a treasure in our community. We need to support it, spread the word, and be familiar with it. This is a call to action. I'm your host, Alex Habersham. Have a great day.
www.makingblackpages.com